Hello you gorgeous donuts. Today we're going to be reacting to the wildest Am I the Arsehole posts on Reddit. Let me know your opinion on every single one of these that we cover because they're ridiculous. Am I the arsehole for selling my Taylor Swift tickets after my girlfriend cheated? Oh, okay, we're starting off with a bang here. A few months back, I won some money on stake and decided to surprise my girlfriend with Taylor Swift tickets for her Vancouver show. She's been a massive Swiftie since forever, and I knew this would mean the world to her. I spent around $800 for 2 really good seats. Is that how much Taylor Swift's charging for our bloody tickets? Oh my God, that woman is raking that cash in. Last week, I discovered she'd been secretly meeting up with her work friend for months. I found out because she accidentally left her Instagram DMs open on my laptop, rookie error. She'd been using it to print something, and I saw weeks of flirty messages and plans to meet up. When I confronted her, she tried to deny it at first, but eventually admitted they'd kissed several times and had been having an emotional affair. Well, that's not the best start to your day, finding that out. I was devastated. These tickets were meant to be a special experience for us, and I couldn't stomach the thought of taking her after this betrayal. Yes, King, that's what I'm talking about. Get her out, swiftly. Rather than let them go to waste, I decided to sell them. Given how insane the Taylor Swift ticket market is right now, I managed to sell them for £2,400, triple what I paid. What? Are people spending that much to see Taylor Swift? My lord, they're really committed. Being a Swiftie requires overtime. You've got to have like a 6-figure salary to be a Swiftie. When she found out I sold the tickets, she completely lost it. She's been blowing up my phone, calling me petty and cruel, saying I ruined her dream and that the tickets were a gift, so they belong to her. Her friends are also messaging me, saying I'm an awful person for using the tickets to hurt her. I feel like I had every right to sell the tickets that I bought with my own money, especially after what she did, but she's making me feel like I took things too far. Oh my God. Sir, in my opinion, well done. You are not the bad person here. If you just sold them because you wanted, like, to triple your money, fair enough, then you're the arsehole. But she cheated on you. Like, she did the error first, right? I guess you could say you guys have now got bad blood. Now you've got problems, and I don't think you can solve them, in the words of the almighty Swift. The fact that she's trying to make you out to be the bad person and is also getting her friends to make you out to be the bad person when, like, she's emotionally, like, damaged you forever is, like, so rich. And if anything, you've kind of dodged a bullet. I know it probably won't feel like this right now, but like in time when you've healed from this relationship, you're gonna find out like ripping the bandage off like you have is the best way to do it. I know no way of getting cheated on is nice, but in my opinion, like the way she's cheated on you is a lot worse because it's an emotional relationship. It's not like she's just in the heat of the moment slept with someone, which again is terrible, but like the fact this has been going on for weeks, months, and they're like they're really getting to discover each other behind your back, and then you're the bad Scott! Watch out for the Swifties, guys. They'll turn on you. Oh, God. You are not the arsehole, sir. Don't worry, in my opinion. Am I the arsehole for refusing to demote my dog after my sister gave her baby the same name? I, 26 female, have a dog named Charlie. Charlie is a golden retriever I adopted 4 years ago, and he's my best buddy. My sister, Emily, 29 female, recently had her first child, a baby boy. She and her husband named him Charlie. God, get your own name. At first, I thought it was funny and didn't really think much of it, but then Emily pulled me aside during a family gathering and said it was confusing and disrespectful for me to keep calling my dog Charlie now that her son has the same name. She asked me to rename my dog. What? Sorry. Just before we proceed, you've had that dog for 4 years. Like, it's not the dog's fault. The dog's just sitting there and then you start calling them Darren. He's not going to know what's going on. That's going to confuse him, getting called Darren all of a sudden. Is anyone thinking about the dog's emotions in this? He's not done anything wrong. Why should he change his name? Also, like, you surely would know that your sister's dog is called Charlie. Like, you know that going into calling your own son Charlie. Also, Charlie is such a dog's name. I'm sorry to all the Charlies out there. I know 2 dogs called Charlie, which is, it doesn't seem like a lot, but that is quite a lot. I told her no. Charlie has been his name for 4 years. He knows it. Responds to it. And it's on all his paperwork. Charlie's going nowhere. Darren can wait. Changing it would be weird for him and for me. She got really upset and said it's not fair for her son to share a name with a dog, especially in family settings. She thinks it'll lead to jokes and confusion as her son grows up. Okay, that's fair, but you called him it, so you have to deal with the repercussions of this. Surely you had these worries before you named him. If anything, right? I'm not trying to, you know, compare things here, but I feel like it's worse if you change the dog's name than the newborn child's name, right? That's just my opinion. Also, I feel very strongly for this because I don't have any kids. I have a dog. And that, like Cuddy's my son, okay? I treat him as if he is a human. I love him so much. So the fact that a sister is just disregarding a relationship and a connection with a dog is just so horrible. My parents have weighed in, and while my dad says it's ridiculous to expect me to change my dog's name, my mom says I should just consider it to keep the peace. Now, Emily's barely speaking to me, and a few family members think I'm being stubborn. I have no idea how I am in the wrong here. The world's gone crazy. I love my dog, and I didn't name him to spite anyone. I also think it's not my fault they chose a name already in use in the family. Am I the arsehole? Do you know what? To your sister, Emily, I think she should change her name, right? I think we should call her Charlie. See how she likes it. Then we've got 3 Charlies. How confusing's that? Charlie can be a girl's name. You're most definitely not the arsehole here. Like, you've done nothing wrong. You've just, like, lived your life for the last 4 years as you will tomorrow, and then she's decided to call her child. Like, you've done nothing wrong. Why would she think that you've done this to, like, hurt her? Unless, like, ages ago when you were, like, kids, she always said that she wanted to call a child Charlie, and then you did it out of spite. That's the only way she has even a little bit of a leg to stand on, but she doesn't. I think it's very telling that the mom has said, like, she should consider changing the name of her dog. Like, this kind of tells me that possibly this sister, Emily, is, like, being the sister that's always got what she wanted off her mom. Because, like, the dad obviously is just speaking with like, common sense. He's telling her not to change the name of the dog. But clearly, the sister, it just seems like there's definitely been favoritism in this family previously. This post was actually deleted, so it doesn't have comments on it, which is sad. Oh, I need an update on that to see how they kind of got on. Okay, so this one I actually received in my DMs and was one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this video, because this seemed absolutely outrageous. Hey Cam, can you please answer this for me? Am I the arsehole for dumping my boyfriend because he queued up to sleep with Lily Phillips? Oh my god, if this is true. We've been together for three years on and off, and one day he said he was going away with his friends. I didn't think much of it, as he tends to go on a few trips a year with friends. However, I saw on one of his friends' Snapchat stories that they were at a random Airbnb he didn't mention anything about. Okay. Right, a little bit sus. Right, acting like the imposter here. Among Us jokes are coming out. That's when you know the party started. Again, I didn't think much of it, but then when he got back home and we went out the next weekend with his friends, one of them joked about sleeping with Lily Phillips at an Airbnb, and when I questioned my ex about it, he said we went, but he didn't sleep with her. Sorry, I know this is a real story. I'm not laughing. I am a little bit. It's just so outrageous. Sorry. Okay, so the fact he's even there, before I finish this story, I don't know what's about to come next, but the fact he's even there does raise alarm bells for me, I'm afraid. He said he just stood in the queue whilst his friend was waiting to sleep with her. I don't believe he didn't sleep with her and decided to dump him. I've been feeling really bad because I do love him, but I don't feel like I can trust him. Am I in the wrong here? Oh, this one's layer. We'll solve this for you. The donuts have got you, love. You're probably a donut yourself, aren't you? So, the fact he said that he was just waiting in the line with his friend, like, just because his friend was, that just doesn't seem like a plausible story to me. It's like that meme, you know, where he's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just waiting for a mate. It's like, who does that? Like, I'm not, if my mate was like, I'm gonna go and, you know, queue up to sleep with Lily Phillips, I'm not gonna be like, you know what, I'll keep you company. Like, it's just weird, because I know what he's about to do. Like, why am I involved in the foreplay service? That just kind of changes the dynamic of our, like, friendship. Am I gonna wait outside for him, be like, how'd that go, mate? Was it alright? Yeah, you get everything done you want to get done? Yeah, good. It's just weird, okay? The only person that can kind of confirm this, I guess, is Lily, if she did sleep. But I don't have any photos or anything. I did actually ask the permission from this person to use this story as well. I haven't just included this without, you know, letting them know. That would have been horrific. Also, the fact that you say that he, like, goes on a few trips in a year and then he's kind of done this on one of his trips. Just me, I would start, like, questioning other trips and being like, what have they done? Like, now I'm, like, suspecting everything. You know what I mean? It just instantly breaks your trust, like you said in the last line. Regarding dumping him, if he said that he hasn't slept with her, I guess it's just kind of you based on trust. But again, it's just icky, the fact that he was, like, queuing up. Okay, so it seems like he actually went inside as well, because, you know, you're saying his friend's Snapchat stories, they were inside. So that again, just everything's played into the fact that he possibly could have slept with her. You never know. Like, I don't know what your boyfriend's like. Is he the type of person that succumbs to peer pressure? Is he one of those people that, like, once he's inside there, he's like, well, I'm here now, you know, I might as well join in. You know, I got nothing else to do, right? Apart from playing Clash of Clans on my phone. Am I going to do that all day? I don't think so. It's like the weird thing, like, you know, if your boyfriend goes to a strip club, is that cheating? Like, even the fact he's there, even if he doesn't get a dance. I feel like if you were on a stag do, I'm trying to justify this. I think if he knew that he was even going to be around this, he should have let you known, like, prior, and then you can discuss it. He can ring you. A text takes like 2 seconds just to make you aware of the situation. The fact he's tried to hide it and it's only came to light when his friend has like mentioned it in like a group setting, it just doesn't look good. And I feel like the fact that you've broken up with him is probably is it the best? I'd probably say yeah. It is brutal. But is it brutal? I need help from the donuts here. I'm like going back and forth with this one. I'm trying to put myself in the perspective if like my girlfriend queued up to shag a guy, but then that just wouldn't happen because that scenario just wouldn't exist. Girls wouldn't queue up to shag a guy. Oh, this is rough. I don't think you're the arsehole though. Okay. Top and bottom of it. My boyfriend is upset I won't put him on the mortgage. I, 26 male, have been saving for years and finally reached a point where I can start looking for houses. Well done you. This has been a personal goal of mine and I'm super excited about it. But ever since I mentioned it, my boyfriend, 23 male, has been acting off. He's implied multiple times that he should be added to the mortgage if he's going to live there with me. The thing is, he hasn't contributed any savings or a deposit. I've tried to explain that this is something I've worked hard for, and I'm not comfortable putting him on the mortgage, especially since we've only been dating for 2 years. Now, he's asking repeatedly, almost as if it's something I owe him, and his attitude about it is putting me off. I want him to be happy for me, but instead, he seems upset and left out. I feel torn because I don't want to make him unhappy, but I also feel like this is an unfair expectation. Am I being unreasonable for wanting to keep my mortgage in my name? Ooh. This one's like a deep one, isn't it? This one really, really is a tough one. In my opinion, I don't think you're being unreasonable. Like, you've only been dating for 2 years. Yeah, you know, you are well within your rights to say that you love each other and you are probably like obsessed with each other. But 2 years, although it is a long time, isn't really a long time considering, you know, mortgages are like 25 years or even in some cases 35 years. You don't know if you're going to be, you know, together for that long. And also, if you put him on the mortgage, it makes it so much more difficult if you do end up splitting up. If he had contributed financially, I probably would, you know, be more inclined to say, well, obviously if he's like putting a share of the deposit down, he should have his name down. But if he's not, that kind of adds weight to your argument that you know, he shouldn't be on it. I can't see from his perspective why he might want to be on it, because he might see you two as like a serious thing and he might never see him in another relationship ever. But also, it's like, you know, when you get car insurance, you don't plan to crash, but you get the insurance anyway. I feel like you can always add him onto the mortgage later on, you know, and then he can help out with monthly payments, etc. when you've been together for a time where you feel comfortable to do that. But the fact that he expects it kind of raises red flags for me, because it's like, wait, but like, why does it matter? Like, I'm gonna pay for anything anyway. Like, why do you need to be on the mortgage when you haven't contributed at all? But then I'm kind of being a hypocrite, because I know that, you know, when, like, I rent at the minute, but I'm trying to save up to get a mortgage. I know that even if I was contributing more than what my girlfriend was, I'll still put her on the mortgage. Like, that's just, but we have been together for 5 years. So that's like a total different scenario, I know, but that's just how I see it. So there's various emotions going on here, and I don't think you're wrong for kind of feeling like you kind of want to be on it by yourself. Also, like, you never know what happens if he went on the mortgage and then he was like, okay, I want to break up now, and then whatever the half of the overall cost of the house is, you've got to split it. I know you don't want to think that, but it's a total possibility. What are the comments saying? Do not do it. I bought my home when I was 21 and my boyfriend at the time was 27. He was jealous and wanted his name on it as well. Do not do it. It's your home. You paid for it. Even if he helps pay the mortgage, he is more so a tenant. So if it doesn't work out, he has no ownership. Okay, it's a very brutal way, but sometimes you do have to protect yourself, especially when you've only been together 2 years. I don't think you're the arsehole at all. But it definitely is something that you really need to kind of talk to him about and get him to understand it from your perspective. And if he can't, then that kind of raises issues if you are even the right people for each other. As always, let me know your opinions on like every single one of these, because this is one of my favorite videos to do, because you can probably get deep into it, into the trenches. I'm knee deep in arguments right now, and they're not mine. That's why it's so good. Commenting on people's arguments that I'm never gonna meet. Is there anything better? I don't think so. Am I the arsehole for calling the person who cut themselves a slice of my daughter's personalized birthday cake that was in the shared fridge at work a worthless piece of shit? This is so petty, I love it. It's my daughter's birthday this weekend. I had to pick up her birthday cake yesterday before work, so I put it in the shared fridge with the intention to take it home when I knocked off. Although we have had a few incidents with stolen lunches, I didn't think it would be an issue. It was a custom-made birthday cake with my kid's name on it after all, so you can imagine my shock when I went to retrieve my lunchbox from the fridge and noticed that someone had cut themselves a slice of the cake. I lost it and went around questioning everyone, and no one admitted to it. Not one saw anything either. Not one saw anything either. And there aren't any cameras in there. I loudly said that whoever the culprit was, they were a worthless piece of shit. But my boss didn't appreciate that. Oh my god, this is some sort of like toxic workplace environment. I'm sorry, you've got to be like next level evil to go into the shared fridge and clearly see it's an uncut birthday cake and then just cut yourself a slice. You've got to be like a different breed of human. That's a human that I never want to come into contact with. You should be locked up for that. You've got to do time. Surely. Like, it's not even been cut into. Even if it had been cut into, I still don't think you're as evil because, oh, well, you might think, oh, well, this is for everyone. You taking the first slice, you dog! You absolute dog. I'm gonna start calling you Charlie. The fact that this person went round the office and like, well, who was it then? Was one of yous? Who was it? Come on. And none of yous owned up. You little bastard. This is a dog eat dog environment. A Charlie eat Charlie environment. I don't think you're an arsehole for this. You know, I would have called them a lot worse because custom birthday cakes are so much money and somebody takes like hours to do it. It's like a big event getting one of those, especially for your child. Like, how's your child meant to blow out the candles when there's been a big slab of the cake cut out? Also, could you not just go around the room and like look at people's faces? Like, you can just see if they've got any crumbs on the mouth. Sometimes chocolate gets stuck in people's teeth. Kind of inspect that. The top comment says, your boss ate the cake. Conspiracy. I'm after that. The boss shut her down, saying that he doesn't appreciate the language she was using. Could be plausible. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Everyone is a suspect at this point. Very true. It's like a big game of Cluedo, but it's about who ate the birthday cake. You know when Netflix did them Knives Out shows? Well, the third installment's on the way. It's gonna make you not want to like work hard for the company either. Like, if this is the environment that's like created, you're not gonna look forward to going to work. Like, I would be really... This is a problem for HR. I know that might seem very like soft of us, but I would be so fuming, especially if someone owned up to it and went sorry and just had some sort of excuse but they admitted it. I'd be less angry, but the fact that people are looking at you and lying to your face, nah, I'd go full Raoul mode. No chance. The fact your boss had no like empathy for you at all, that this had happened as well, just shows how little they probably care about you, which is so sad. You are not the arsehole, my friend. Am I the arsehole for making a dad joke? Oh god, this is gonna be some sort of like really right-wing thing. Oh, the author is Andrew Tate. Great. Note, my stepdaughter Madeline was about a year old when I lost her. I mean, when I married her mother. Sorry, guys. Madeline's father died before she was born. Madeline is currently 15 and she's rebelling for almost everything. She did something bad, so while picking her up, I set up a punishment for her. Oh god, where's this going? Then she said, "You're not my dad. I don't have to follow you." Honestly, I got a bit hurt from that, but I understand that she didn't mean it and that she'd probably change. I just replied, "I'm still your legal guardian for the next 3 years, and as long as you're in my house, you have to follow my rules." It's a fair reply. I'm with you at this point. That happened about 2 days ago. So our family was going grocery shopping when Madeline said, "I'm hungry. I need food." I decided to be extremely cheeky and say, "Hi, hungry. I'm not your dad." You said it. Dad joke. That's f***ing brutal. Just out of the blue. Cool. No warm-up act. Straight in. She already said she was hungry. My son just started to laugh uncontrollably. My daughter was just quiet with embarrassment. And my wife was berating me not to stoop down to her level. I honestly thought it was a funny dad joke and my son agrees. So, am I the arsehole? Edit, I did adopt her, so legally I am her parent. Okay. I feel like this is gonna, divide the comment section on this one. Personally, I think it's funny. Like, it's a funny thing to say, but I don't feel like you should say it. I've mentioned this in my Molly May documentary breakdown I did, but, I'm a product of, a stepfather and mom family. Even if I said that to my stepdad, and then, like, later down the line, he said, like, "Well, I'm not your dad," I feel like that would always stick with me, even if it was a joke, and I'm the arsehole for saying the initial comment. But then again, I'm only a child. So it's just like, it's a tough one. I feel like you shouldn't have said this because I feel like this can really stick with someone, and also the fact that, you know, a dad isn't even in her life, like he actually died. If you actually were her biological dad and then she said this and then you replied this, it's fine because it's not that deep, but she will always have insecurities about you not being a real dad, and the fact that you've replied this just kind of subconsciously as a child, she might soak that up for the rest of her life. I'm just trying to look at this from her perspective, and I know that you were prompted to say it, like it wasn't just out the blue. She obviously said something like that first. I kind of agree with your wife that you know, you've kind of have stooped to our level in a way. Like, you clearly haven't recovered from what she said. You said it hurt you, and you clearly haven't really got over it. That's why, like, that was your first thought to say just randomly. It's like you've been waiting to say this. Again, I don't think you're evil. I just think it's something that, you know, a kid will remember. We do actually have an update with this one. I'll probably give a full update later, but here is what happened so far. I go to my daughter's room after dinner and begin talking with her. Hey, I'm really sorry that I hurt you by the words I said, and I am really your dad. I changed your diapers, I met your boyfriend, I plan on helping you through college, and plus, I'm legally your dad, so we're stuck together. But seriously, I'm going to love you like my daughter, even if you don't think I'm your dad. Then I hugged her. She did start to cry. I assume that's good. Okay, so clearly, you know, you've realised what I've just said there, and you did feel bad about it. That's something that I don't think she'll ever forget, even if it was a joke, because it's like I've said, she probably has thought that in the past. But you've made the first step into trying to, you know, recover the relationship, and like what you've said, opening up, is actually really nice. Like, I'm sure she would appreciate that a lot. But I feel like you just need to give her time and just kind of, you know, just never say that again, right? That's the first rule. No matter how angry she makes you, you're a dad, right? You're in this for the long haul now until the day you die. You'll always be a dad, so never say you're not. The top comment is, that was one hell of a joke, and I congratulate you for it. Really? Wait, maybe I'm off on this. That was good. 8 out of 8. Weird scale. Do people vote things out of 8 now? People in the comments are saying that he's in the right. Again, my opinion, like, it doesn't, I'm not saying it's right. It's just my opinion because I've kind of, you know, got a little bit of relation to this topic. That's wild. That is absolutely wild that people are agreeing with them. You know, I do get their perspectives, to be fair. Like, again, I'm not saying I'm right, but wow. I seem like I'm totally off on this one. Am I the arsehole for deleting my son's Minecraft world? You didn't. Instantly, yes. I don't even need to read on. I have 2 children, a 9-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter. My son had a Minecraft world where he built quite an impressive castle on an island, which he was very proud to show me. Since school was cancelled, he has had issues with waking up on time. He is supposed to wake up at 7 each morning, but for the past month, he has been sleeping in until about 9 or 10. I always set an alarm for him, but he sleeps right through it. I don't wake him up because waking himself up is a skill that he needs to learn. I told him about 2 weeks ago that there are going to be consequences for him if he continues to sleep in every morning. At first, he understood and was waking up on time every morning, but for the past week or so, he has fallen back into old habits. I told him yesterday that this is his final warning. Today, he slept in until 11. So I followed through with my warning and went on the computer and deleted his favourite Minecraft world. I also took away computer privileges for the next month. When I told him, he started screaming and crying. He told me that he spent a whole year working on that world and he's very distraught that he's never going to see it again. He has been crying and sobbing throughout the whole day and has refused to eat any of his meals. Bro, why did you blow up all his buildings? Surely that's got to be like some sort of like terrorism or something. In my opinion, straight off the bat, I think you're an arsehole. Because you even complimented how much work and effort he puts into this. He clearly has a lot of pride. He's only 9. Okay, this is like an interest for him. He's not out, you know, doing anything that can harm him. He's just in his own little world, and this is probably like an escape from like the stresses he's got at school. And he's been working on this singular world for a year. It's not like something that he, like, you know, he's not one of them people that builds a new world or does new things on Minecraft. He just likes building the same thing, contributing to it every single day. This is such a horrible thing to do, in my opinion. If he'd done something really, really, really bad, then, you know, then you might have more of a case. But the fact that, again, it is a bad thing that he's not waking up, but I don't feel like this is the right punishment for that. Like, you could argue that he'll never sleep in again, but to him, the concept, like, he's gonna be so frightened of ever doing anything wrong. I know this is not the same as, like, you know, abuse, right? Like, I'm acting like this is, like, very intense here, but this will be really intense emotionally for him. You could have just banned him off it, like, for a month or for a week or whatever, so that it's still there, but he just can't contribute to it. It's the fact that I feel like you've really felt hurt and you felt, like, disrespected, so you felt like you need to kind of disrespect him in a way. Looking at it from your point of view, you're probably, like, very, like, emotionally, like intoxicated by this situation, so that's why you've acted out. You haven't just done it, you know, like, just off nothing. But this is brutal. This is bad. This is the top reply. Parenting is more about finding ways to get your child to succeed than negative punishment. Not only will your goal of having him wake up not be met, you've created additional hardship on your child during these unprecedented times. He's 9. The punishment did not fit the crime. Again, I agree with that. I really do agree with that. It's like negative reinforcement. I know, like, this is very easy because I've got no kids. Okay, and I'm speaking from, like, a place of kind of, like, I don't understand how it is. But I have got 3 younger brothers, so I know how kids are. Is there not a way that you could have motivated him to kind of wake up rather than punish him for not waking up? Like, that's just how I would kind of look at it. I know some parents will say they've tried that and it hasn't worked, but I'm just trying to, you know, kind of think out the box here. I'm just trying to think of a world where his world isn't destroyed. People are saying that this will be like a sentimental moment in the child's relationship with his parent, one that he will constantly revisit throughout the rest of his life. I know this sounds like dramatic because it's just a Minecraft world, but I agree with that. Like, he will always remember that and he'll always be kind of like a little bit wary, a little bit scared. And I know I'm, like, thinking way into the future here, but you know, if, like, he goes out to, like, a house party and gets too drunk, stuff like that, he might be afraid to, like, ring you because he knows that the punishment is always so severe. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've put that in his mind from, like being 9 years old now. He's always gonna kind of have that with him. I believe you are the arsehole, but again, if the comments, you know, if you disagree with this, the parents out there, I'm willing to listen to you. Am I the arsehole for not wanting coal for Christmas? This year, I went to my fiance's house for Christmas. It was my first time going, as we would typically go to my family's house instead. I got a rather pricey gift for my fiance Dan, related to his hobbies. I got nice gifts for Dan's parents based off things I've talked about with them before, and I got a small pack of chocolates for each of Dan's other relatives I didn't know that well. That's very nice. I wasn't expecting many gifts from Dan's relatives because I didn't know many of them that well, but I certainly was expecting more than I got. At first, I was excited when I saw that there was a big pile of gifts for me. However, once I opened the first one, it was just a piece of coal. Oh no, what? Everyone laughed, and I just kind of laughed along, thinking it was a gag gift and that the other gifts would be different. But every single one turned out to be coal. All 18 of them! There's some sort of humiliation ritual? What do you mean? All 18 of them were coal. All individual 18 presents, all wrapped up, and it was just coal? I'm sorry, that's abuse. The fact that, that's evil. The fact they know that you would, like, surely you get to, like, you know, the 4th one, and you're like, they're all coal on the, they're all coal. Should I even bother? You've got us, right? Like, it's not funny after, like, the 2nd one. Like, when you're on Call 14, like, are you still just, like, are they laughing still? Like, what? This is, like, cruel. The fact you know none of these people as well. I started to get upset, so I cried and lashed out at Dan, but he calmly explained apparently this is a long-standing tradition in his family where they gift coal to newcomers who are celebrating Christmas with them for the first time. Well, that's a barrel of laughs. He explained that it's just easier that way since all the relatives who might not know the newcomer, well, don't have to stress over finding a gift. And it's a fun experience for the newcomer as well. Is it? Opening up 18 individually hand-wrapped presents that are all coal is a fun experience for a newcomer? In what world? It's already, like, the worst thing ever when you're surrounded by loads of people that you don't know and everyone's got inside jokes and you're the outsider and you're kind of just laughing along with jokes that you don't even really think are that remotely funny. But not only that, you're the butt of the joke 18 times over. I told Dan I couldn't believe I skipped my own family celebration for this and left. But now Dan and some of his family are blowing up my phone saying I embarrassed him in front of his relatives and that I made it awkward for everyone. So am I the arsehole? No. 1,000,000% no. You're the least arsehole in this entire video. I can't believe that, like, the family would do this. Like, if they got you one piece of coal and then they actually brought out your proper presents, That's funny, right? I can get behind that. But 18, it's just cruel, and it's not funny for anyone. If your in-laws have cracked like that, I would be like, you know what? I'm actually done. I'm finished, mate. I can't do this. It's not funny. I'm not having Christmas like this every year with this shit crap. Like, fine, I'll just use the coal as a fossil fuel and just have petrol for the entire month. Joke's on you, motherfuckers. It's the fact what coal symbolizes at Christmas as well. It's that you've been, like, bad. So I would, like, my overthinking brain would think that they don't like us. Like, they think ill of us. The fact that you've skipped Christmas as well with your family, you know, like, you've missed on, like, a really nice time with your family. One less Christmas in your entire life with your family for this? Fuck Dan. Fuck Dan's family. Right, love? You don't deserve this. You deserve better. This is a good comment someone left. Plus, Dan knew she had gifts for everyone. Exactly. Dan would have probably have been there, right? She would have asked Dan advice for the gifts, and he knew that this was a tradition. It's evil. It's really, really evil. It's like the movie Get Out, you know, when she brings that guy to the family, right? And everyone's just like behind his back, kind of laughing at him, knowing what they're gonna do. This is exactly the same plotline here. Just a little bit less traumatic, I think. Not fair. Am I the arsehole for not waking up my girlfriend for her exam after I overheard her calling me a little bitch? Spicy, bro. My girlfriend has online summer courses and she had an exam for one of them this morning. I usually wake her up for pretty much everything because she sleeps through her phone alarm no matter how long it buzzes or how many she sets. My dyslexia is going wild right now. All the words like moving around the page. She has joked that I'm her butler before, and within the context of a relationship, it's okay, so I didn't mind. Obviously, I want to love my partner and try and make her life easy. However, last night she was chatting with her friends, and she thought I couldn't hear. She was bragging that I'm her little bitch, and I do everything for her when she tells me to. It really hurt my feelings because they were making comments like, good, put him in his place, and she was agreeing. Okay, I mean, you do, like, wake her up every single day. Like, I would just leave her. Just let her sleep. You will remain in your tomb, woman. I'm no longer your alarm clock anymore. Not this little bitch. This little bitch is gonna eat egg and soldiers without you. She specifically said, yeah, I'm not too worried about tomorrow because the bitch will make sure I'm up and he'll probably have breakfast ready for me too. Oh! I just know it's a hard B as well. It's not like a bitch. It's like a bitch. You know? Like a Brixton bully bitch. I went to bed pretty hurt by it, and come Monday, I didn't bother to wake her up, and when her alarm started to go, she usually only gets up when someone physically shakes her. But I let her turn off her alarm, and she slipped back into sleep, and I turned around and went back to sleep too. Wait, so you have to get up at her alarm and then go back to sleep? Why? Like, if she's so independent, let her get herself up. Why have you got to get yourself up if you're not even up or getting up? When she woke up, she was yelling at me saying, I'm an arsehole and I've cost her her exam and I'm a piece of shit for what I did. I think we're breaking up. I told her this morning after she called me a bitch for being upset, re being called a bitch. Lol. But she says she's not done with me. I'm trying to get through today's shift and then deal with stuff later. I'll try and get back as I can. We've been together a year and it was my first real relationship, but I'm tired of her not acknowledging how she made me feel and still calling me a bitch. That word is really making me feel and small. I've never seen somebody be called a bitch as many times in a short period of time as you, sir. I think that you're going out with the spawn of Satan, if I'm being real right now. She clearly feels like she's got you wrapped around a finger and you're doing stuff out the kindness of your own heart and you're receiving very little back. Like, you getting up when you don't even need to be up to wake her up and then going back to sleep, that is like a really kind thing to do, which you don't need to do. Like, you're going out of your way to do it and she clearly doesn't appreciate it. Not only does she not appreciate it, she's actually mocking you for it somehow. I feel like this is the perfect thing to put in a Reddit thread because you can get totally logical opinions, because obviously us reading this will be like, well, why is this guy with this person? But he clearly loves that and it's his first relationship, and everyone's first relationship. It's very intense because you're going through emotions that you necessarily don't experience, haven't experienced before. I feel really bad for this guy because the only thing I can say is now at least you know what you don't want, okay? Like, when you get into your next relationship and they appreciate you and you do nice things for them and they also like reciprocate it and do nice things for you, you're going to be like, why was I ever with that previous person? Like, they didn't appreciate me at all. The fact that she's slagging you off to her friends and all her friends are kind of slagging you off are. Like, this is such a toxic environment. I hate this person. The more I'm talking, I actually hate them. It's so horrible. She's clearly taken advantage of your love towards her, and I'm not even necessarily sure she loves you. I know that's probably, you know, like a harsh thing to hear. You're not giving us anything where she's kind of proven that she does. She clearly heavily relies on you. Like, you seem like you're the more independent one here. Like, you're the one who makes breakfast, according to her words, and you're also the one that gets her up so that she can take her own exam. Like, clearly she's not that committed to, you know, passing her exam if she can't even wake up for it herself. Honestly, I feel like if you mentioned this to your friends, how this person's treating you, they will tell you the exact same thing. Run. This one is not the one for you. Oh god, this one was tasty. Good one to end it on. And let us know, guys, if you want me to make this a series, because these videos honestly are so fun to film, because you can just get so deep into them. If this video gets like 3,000 likes, that's like a notice to me to continue to do it. And if you want to watch a video that is very similar to this, where I reacted to the Reddit thread, am I overreacting, click this video right here, because the ones in here were absolutely wild.
Kirkham, baby.